Hello friends, SentinalH here, and welcome back to our Revolution 2 Let's Play series. So, quite a bit has happened since the last episode. Not really in the actual treehouse, but in another location, which I'm going to take you to a bit later, once it becomes daytime and not scary old nighttime. And I'll show you what I was working on after the last episode ended. Now, I've gone ahead and I've solved my power grid problems that I was having previously, as well as made an upgrade to our crusher. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've placed an item router right on the output of the crusher and set it up so that the raw ores that are produced when you throw an ore block into the crusher will go out this end and be fed right back into the crusher. And then when dusts are produced, or things like coal and redstone, they will go through this side and end up in the chest. Now, the chest isn't permanent. It's only here because it was the easiest thing to set up at short notice. Ideally, and I think I may have to move the crusher to do this, I'm trying to figure out ways that I can do it by using additional item routers. Ideally, what I want to set up is that the dusts will feed directly into the sifter, and then the sifter goes into the chest. So maybe multiple sifters, depending on how it goes. So that is the ultimate plan, but in the meantime, this is working just lovely. We are currently crushing... we're currently crushing more silver. I've also crushed up... There's some more silver. I've also crushed up some lead. So we have some lead grit, and we have plenty of gold dust, and plenty of copper and some iron. And of course, we've got a lot of iron ore left to go, and an entire barrel full of copper ore, hard copper ore, 1,094 hard copper ore. Each of those is going to produce, I believe, 4 or 8. I think 4 dust. So we're going to get a lot of stuff out of these. I also need to relocate the external heater, but everything is working the way that it is supposed to work. So in here, I've gone ahead and used medium voltage to wire up these machines. And I've used medium voltage for this because ideally these will be running all the time. So I want to make sure that they can get enough power per tick. So I just wired them up with medium voltage. The power goes in the top on these two. And then on this one, it needed to go in the back. So I needed to place another connector up here so that I could get it over to there. It's not the ideal setup because I have to use more wire, but it works. So in our refinery, we've currently got ethanol. I threw a bunch, 2 stacks of sugarcane into my fermenter, and that produced almost 12,000. It produced a little over 10,000 millibuckets of ethanol. So that's actually pretty good. So I might use sugarcane for this. I need to use the fastest growing, probably the fastest growing plant that I can get for this. Now, I just noticed up in the upper right corner that the, oh, no, not that button, that the plot that I was in changed, which means that there are parts of my base that aren't currently claimed by me. That's what I thought right here. So I need to go ahead and claim this square so that the entirety of my treehouse is claimed, because I don't want any part of my base to be unclaimed. So now my base is claimed, so it shouldn't keep saying wilderness. Nope, it's good now. I haven't put anything into the industrial squeezer yet. What we need to do is get our hands on some seeds, or pumpkin seeds, or melon seeds, or ideally industrial hemp seeds. We could also apparently use all these different food seeds, but industrial hemp is definitely going to be the best one to do. So we'll get that set up. I probably want to put my industrial hemp farm not too far away from this. I don't know if I want it in the trees or if I want it on the ground and then somehow ship that stuff up here, which wouldn't be the best idea. So I kind of want to put it up here in the trees, maybe on top of my original house. We'll see what we end up doing as far as that goes. There's not a ton of other stuff that's gone on recently since the last episode. I've got another barrel for storing my creosote oil because I had way too much of it and I wanted to produce some more coal blocks. But you may have seen that last time. I don't actually remember. I've been making some new recipes for food. My new favorite recipe is to make a mince pie. It uses dough, and it's I think 3. I think it gives me 3 hungers and 3 saturation. Saturation is the hard thing to get right now. Living on carrot juice, you really don't get any saturation. Actually, you know what? We're going to go to the new area that I set up. Because even though it's nighttime, I'm going to hang glide my way over there. And as you can see from the moon going down, it's going to be daytime in not too long. I've been using the hang glider a lot. I quite like the hang glider. So we're going to climb on top of the building. And I can show you what the big thing that I worked on. So we'll just hold shift and zip our way down the river. So if we head down the river, you can see it on the minimap already, we will find this building. This is a pre-generated structure, and this pre-generated structure in particular falls apart with under the effects of Enviromine because it's not supported. So it falls to pieces. The roof, somebody might have stolen this roof because none of the blocks are here, but this would have been made out of slabs, which doesn't work with Enviromine because slabs can only be like 2 blocks across before they fall. Anyway, we want to go down here and go in this door, which is in the water, because this entire building spawned a block too low. So I went ahead and cleared this building out and actually repaired the floor of the 2nd floor. And in order to do that, I used these arches, 4 diameter arches from Architecture Craft, to create the supports to keep the floor up, which I think actually gives it a really nice look. It looks kind of like a dungeon or something, or like some sort of place here. Now, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this building. I really, don't know what I'm going to do with it. But it's pretty neat. I've gone through and tried to get rid of any red X's. It's just yellow X's. So it's not 100% lit up yet, ideally. But it's lit up most of the way. There wasn't a lot of useful salvage in this building. I think most of it was already picked clean by other people, but there were a couple things. I haven't completely finished it because my pickaxe can't pick up these skystone small brick stairs. So instead of that, I have had to use the block breaker from Expanded Redstone by putting a button on it and using it to pick up the stairs, which is quite annoying. But then I've been able to repair the building and put this back all the way around it. And so I need to figure out what to do with this place. It's pretty sizable. I can put a lot of stuff in here. Originally, my idea was to turn this into some sort of a power plant. Whether or not I was going to put a whole bunch of water wheels in here, or I don't know, maybe biodiesel generators. That was one idea, but then I have to ship the power all the way to my base with high voltage immersive engineering wires, and that's going to cause a lot of power loss. So that's not the best idea in the world. But I generally don't know what I'm going to do with this building. There's some rotten food in there. This is the architect saw bench that I was using. That chest is empty now. And then this chest has all the furniture that was in this building. Pews, rocking chair, a whole bunch of beds. I got beds for days because the whole 2nd floor was full of beds. So that's that. That's what I was doing recently. I have repaired this building for the most part. There's still bits that need fixing, like this front part of the wall. But I actually need to check and see what is supposed to go here, because there wasn't any skystone stairs here, so that leads me to believe it was originally slabs across here. But I need to try and find images of this building as it should look, so that I know how to fix it. Now, I also want to place a bunch of skyhook lines so that I can get back to my base without having... Or maybe I'll just put a ladder on a tree, because the way I get home is just to fly up using my thermostatic harness and then just hang glide my way back through the forest. Best way to get there. So, yeah. I kind of want a way that doesn't involve draining what little potentia I have left for this thing. Because remember, this was a gift. I actually have no way of recharging this this harness. So when it... Why is there a block of wood here? So when it runs out of power, that's it. When it runs out of potential, I can't recharge it. So, yeah, another thing that I've done is I've gone ahead and made myself a mana steel shovel because you know, I wanted a shovel that wouldn't break, and I still need to do that and make a. I still need to make an axe, and in order to do that, I need some more steel. And some more mana. So why don't we go ahead and see if I have the steel. And I definitely have the mana. I can drain mana out of my mana tablet and use that. So do we have any steel in here? We do not have any steel in here. Let's go see if the steel is... Oh, no. The steel is probably in this chest. There we go. Steel ingots. I need 3 of those, and there's 3 of those. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a mana steel axe. This is from Britannia, of course. Now, there's another thing I need in order to make it. I need some living wood twigs, which means that I need to make some more living wood sticks. I don't actually have any more living wood, so in order to do that, I'm going to have to go chop another tree down. So let's go do that. Let's go chop a tree. I want to chop this tree over here. I don't want to chop trees from my forest. I kind of like my forest, but I think this tree right here, it's not too big, so it won't take overly long, because remember, when you in this mod pack you can chop an entire tree down from the bottom, but it does take just as long as chopping each individual block, I believe. Every extra block just adds more time. Boom, there we go. I got the magnet ring, so it just all picks it up really easily. We'll go across this river using my thermostatic harness because I'm lazy. Just want to get there quickly. I don't think there's anything new in here from Dragon. Now, we got some really fast growing industrial hemp seeds, so that would be useful, except you don't get extra seeds from this. So if I want to use industrial hemp seeds for making biofuel, I just need to use standard seeds that haven't been agricrafted, and just, you know, harvest them out the normal way. In fact, let's grab 2 stacks of these industrial hemp seeds and go chuck them in the squeezer so we can get some our first bit of biofuel produced from the refinery. Be a great thing to do. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty good. I've been doing good lately. I hope you guys have been having a good week. My week's been pretty nice. Been pretty enjoyable. I'm going into the restaurant and I got my steel, actually. I got to go up the stairs. I'm going into the restaurant that I work at Friday afternoon. I usually go in the mornings. So going in the afternoon, which is kind of nice, actually. Alright, now, do we have enough to just chuck this in? Because, yeah, originally in Britannia you use iron for this, but it's been modded and now requires steel just to make it a little bit more... difficult to get yourself mana steel, because if it required iron, honestly, mana steel is quite easy to get. It's quite easy to get up to mana steel. I noticed that this has gone down again, which for the longest time this didn't actually drain at all. Alright, so we got 3 mana steel. Now we need to go over here and we need to make some more living wood by putting some logs around our little pure daisy. That's why we chopped that tree down. As you can see, there are sparkles now around it. That's how you know it's working. And we're going to hop down here and just get rid of these stupid planks because they're starting to annoy me. I'm tired of looking at them. This log also shouldn't be here. And this plank shouldn't be here either. So there we go. Actually a lot of logs down here, which is kind of funny. Alright, let's hop back up there. This entire treehouse, the platforms it's built on, is a bit janky. A bit funky. So while we're waiting for that living wood to transform, let's go over here and to our little biodiesel production facility. and put some industrial hemp seeds in the squeezer. So we'll just go into the squeezer, throw in these hemp seeds. It's actually draining the power. Power is draining very quickly from the refinery. I need to put a breaker switch on here. Actually. Yeah, power is draining too quickly. Let's turn off the crusher. So this is out of power. This still has power. And that's almost done. So then we'll see what happens here. Biodiesel. Yeah, I need to put the biodiesel place on a breaker switch. Because it's plugged in over there. So I definitely think I should put a breaker in here. The question is where. I can put it on the ceiling here and then get rid of that wire connector because it'll actually act as a wire connector. But then it'll only turn off the refinery. I want to turn off all these things, which means that I would put it up here. But I'm going to need another piece of medium voltage wire. So if you've watched the latest episode of the tutorial series, I actually have enough electrum to make more medium voltage wire if I don't have any in this chest, which I don't. Then you'll have seen how to make the breaker switch. I believe it requires hardened clay, which I don't seem to have any. It requires copper ingots, hardened clay, and a lever. So we'll go and we'll grab some clay blocks, because I know we have some clay blocks. Our living wood has been produced. You can see it over there. We'll grab 2 clay blocks. And we'll use our hang glider to quickly hop over here. Put the clay blocks in the furnace and that'll smelt up. You can actually travel faster overall, I think, if you just do this with the hang glider. But it's a little annoying, so I'm not going to do that. If I had like high jumping boots or something, I could probably get away with doing that. Alright, so we've got now our living wood planks. We can make them into twigs and then make our living wood axe. Our Man of Steel axe. So we're going to need 2 of these twigs. Put them like that, and then make the axe a standard way. Now you have a Man of Steel axe. So now I can get rid of this HSLA steel axe into my little dead tools chest. And now we've got our axe that will never break because we've got mana in our mana tablet, which you can see there on the experience bar as the pulsing blue line there. So we got our hardened clay now. I should probably have cobblestone in here. Yep, just 1 piece, exactly what I needed. To make the lever. Lever goes there, copper goes there, 2 hardened clay, breaker switch. Now we need some more medium voltage wire because the wires have to be the same type. 4 electrum ingots and a standard stick. Oops. And MV wire coil. Now if I grab my wire clippers, I think I have wire clippers. Did I ever make wire clippers? They might be in my, if I did, they might be in my golden bag of holding. No, actually, I don't think I ever made any wire clippers. That's okay. Since we got our magnet trinket, I can just break it. So, we are now full up on biodiesel. These are all full up on power. But I still want to put a breaker switch in here, just so that I can cut power to the industrial squeezer and this whole setup if I want to. And to make it easy on myself, we're going to put it on the ceiling, which you can actually do, as you can see there. Now if I don't want to do that. I don't want to break that one because that'll mess that up. If I just go ahead and break this... Oh, because that'll mess that up too. Ah, there goes the alarm. Stop it! We'll just break this. Use our MV wire coil on the breaker switch. I need to make a wire clipper. We'll put this back over here where it goes, and then we'll connect this to the breaker switch. So now these are all full of power, but if they weren't, they would no longer be getting power because I got it turned off. Turn it on, turn it off. So if I just want these to sort of run until they run out of power and then leave them out of power, I can go ahead and flip the breaker switch. Because you can turn the refinery off, but you can't turn these squeezers off and make them stop drawing power. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We took a look at the new thing that I was building. Let me know give me some suggestions for what you think I should do with that additional building. I'd love to hear them. I hope you're enjoying the series. In the next episode, we are definitely going to set up a fluid tank to hold our biodiesel. And then we'll start talking about building the actual biodiesel generator, because it's going to take a lot of resources that we don't quite have enough stuff to build. We might want to look into getting better steel production. So stay tuned for all of that. I'm SentinalH, and I'm signing out.